Hi guys, this is Unboxing Tech, and in this video, I have a fresh new toy from the brand HomeRunPet. Essentially, this is a vacuum. It's specifically made for pet grooming and makes it easy to vacuum up loose pet hairs that are inevitable with most cats and dogs. The vacuum body itself doesn't take up too much space, and it weighs around 11 pounds, so it's easy to lift. The vacuum is made mainly of plastic with some metal and silicone parts added in. On the bottom are these silicone pads on all four corners, and these prevent the vacuum from sliding around while you're using it. Overall, it has a very solid construction and a high quality feeling that's very easy to tell with just a look. Of course, with just the vacuum by itself, you can't really call it a pet grooming tool. In addition to the main vacuum, HomeRunPet has also sent us an assortment of different attachments that go with the vacuum. But before we go any further, let's check out the specs of the vacuum. You will need to plug it into an electric outlet to get it to power on. There are two buttons on the vacuum. One is to turn on the product itself. The second button changes the suction strength. There are 3 levels of suction strength, and a single click is needed to switch between levels 1 through 3. HomeRunPet does boast the quietness of their vacuum, so we're going to test it out. I downloaded a decibel reader app on my iPad. I would expect most vacuum cleaners to be around 70 to 90 decibels, so let's see how this product compares. As a control, the current decibel of the room itself doesn't go above 30 decibels. It's a quiet room right now, the air conditioner isn't even running. Turning it on to the first level, we see that the meter kicks up to about 65 decibels. The second level is a little bit above 75 decibels on average, and the strongest level is barely below 90 decibels, which is pretty much on par with a household vacuum cleaner, and honestly, not too much of a surprise. But as HomeRunPet claims, at level 1, I could say that this is the quietest vacuum on the market. Let's take a look at the included accessories. First is the tube extension. This is a requirement for all the other add-ons. It has a coil design that makes it slightly stretchy and incredibly flexible. The white end is the part that you want to attach directly to the vacuum. It'll snap on if you did it right, and it's easily removable with just a push of a button. This gray end is where you'll be linking up the other attachments. So first, let's check out the slicker brush attachment. It just snaps on like so, and this is what it looks like. The brush head is pretty wide for a larger brush range, and on each of the brush pins is a protective bead. This design does make it softer against an animal's skin, but if you've used these before, you also know that they aren't quite as effective as the standard slicker brushes. But it does make it universally safe to use, even for pets with sensitive skin. In the center is a hole, which is where the main suction will occur to suck up all the loose fur you brush out. It's honestly pretty small, so the suction distance will be slightly limited. Another great addition to the slicker brush attachment is the button on the back that pushes out all the furs that are caught on the slicker pins to make it easier to clean the brush. The slicker brush is great for detangling your pet's hair, making it ideal for non-shedding animals like poodles or poodle mixes. Of course, you can still definitely get some use out of it with shedding animals, and it'll easily capture fur and make cleanup super easy as well. Before you start using the vacuum groomer, make sure your pet is at least somewhat okay with the noise. I would let them gradually get used to the vacuum groomer if they seem to be afraid or nervous of it. If you know that your pet is afraid of vacuums in general, I might advise against this product. As the range of the brush is so wide, it's definitely less work even on larger dogs. As mentioned before, the suction part is so small, so it does make it less effective in sucking up the furs on the brush, so you may need to help it manually. Next is the Deshedding Comb. This comb piece is much like something you'd find on the famous Furminator brush. The brush itself is retractable via the button on the back, keeping it sharp and clean when it is not in use. There is a slot here on the bottom where the air suction will be to proactively remove the fur from the brush. The brush comb isn't sharp at all, so you can feel assured of your pet's safety. This is a great brush design to help with removing the loose undercoat of shedding pets, which in turn helps lessen the overall shedding your pet will experience and make your home life less taken over by loose fur all over your furniture and clothes. Plus, it's a great size that'll capture more of your pet's body, ensuring the brushing ends quickly and both you and your pet suffer less stress by the end of it. By retracting the comb with the button on the back, the caught fur automatically gets sucked up by the vacuum so you can have a clean brush instantly. It combs through very smoothly and does a great job at grabbing the loose undercoat fur without hurting your pet. Next, this is the massage brush attachment piece. While the other two brushes are great for both cats and dogs, I think this massage brush would be better suited for cats. Each of these little spikes are actually made of a super soft and flexible silicone. While this doesn't have the same combing power as a deshedding brush, these silicone brushes are also a great way to remove loose hairs from shedding pets. It's also soft and gentle, and as it is officially called a massage brush, it's guaranteed to feel really good for your pet as each silicone prong will gently stroke through their fur. As it is attached to a vacuum, it's also easy to clean up the attachment piece. This piece is also very lightweight, so it's easy to hold and use. I did notice, however, unlike the other pieces, this one was a little harder to snap on. I would just keep applying some force until you hear it completely click into place. So this brush attachment massages your pet while also simultaneously picking up any loose hairs from their coat. It'd be great to use after the Deshedding Comb to make sure you didn't miss out any tufts of fur from prior brushing. Thankfully, our furry little helper today seems to be enjoying the feeling of the massage brush. Moving on from the brushes are some other essential tools needed for grooming your pet, including these clippers. The clippers won't work by themselves, and they need to be connected to the vacuum in order to turn on. There are 3 levels of clipper speeds that you can choose from if you need more power. Along with the clippers are a set of clipper guards running from 3mm to 19mm. The guards are very easy to snap right onto the top of the clippers like so. These make it easy to control the length of your pet's fur, whether you're using it for a full body groom, trimming their paws, or keeping their sensitive spots clean. I do groom my own dogs, so I have some experience with dog clippers, though not in any professional sense. This one did the job really well. And the fact that it sucks up the fur as it's being cut is so helpful, as I'm always left with a seat of fur afterwards. Next, we have the included Lint Roller. This is such a genius idea, especially for people who have to deal with pet fur all over their clothes and furniture. This attachment has this soft fabric that's kind of like Velcro in the way it works in picking up fur, along with a silicone strip to help pull the fur from whatever it's stuck onto as well. The clear window on the back lets you see the fur getting sucked up in real time. And if you think the fur might be starting to gather and get stuck, you can open up the back and manually pull them out. It did take me a few tries to figure it out, but you have to drag it in a single direction rather than back and forth in order for it to work properly. But as you can see, the results were instantaneous. The lint roller did so well in picking up the fur from my hoodie, and there weren't any strands left behind either, leaving behind a clean and fresh canvas. Finally, the last attachment is this, the standard vacuum nozzle. This would be the last step in your pet grooming routine, by picking up whatever pieces of fur and dirt that didn't get sucked up. Because it has a smaller opening, it works well enough as a regular vacuum. But in reality, how viable is this product as a regular vacuum? So let's do a little suction test using a piece of paper and the slicker brush attachment. We'll test all 3 levels of the vacuum to see how strong the suction is for each. At level 1, we see no movement from the paper and no indication that it's getting sucked up into the vacuum at all. Level 1 is quiet but weak. Let's get it up to level 2. Immediately, we see that the paper is getting sucked up into the slicker brush, but the suction still isn't that strong, and movement will detach the paper from the brush. Going up to the strongest level 3, we already see movement from the wind that's coming from both the slicker brush and the vacuum itself. Just putting the brush near the paper makes the paper get sucked up onto the brush, and it has a pretty strong hold, with only sudden sharp movements causing the paper to become detached. So at level 3, I would say that it does perform satisfactorily as a vacuum cleaner. And at the end of all that, you'll want to remove all the fur you've gathered from the vacuum cleaner's dustbin. To do so, just pull up with some amount of strength and it'll come right off. This is probably where the fur is coming through from. There is a filter cartridge here to prevent dust from getting into the vacuum itself. It is washable, and it feels very sturdy and high quality with a soft cotton webbing and flexible silicone edges. There's another filter here which also captures stray strands of fur and dust particles as well. Replacements for both of these filters can be purchased from HomeRunPet. To open up the dustbin itself, push up on the handle like so, and it should just pop right open. And then you can just throw away the fur inside. Or collect them, I guess. Whatever you pet parents do, I don't know. After it's emptied out, just snap it back into place, and it's ready to be used again. Grooming your pet is an essential part of a pet owner's life for both you and your pet. That's why it's great to see that there are these products out there to help improve the quality of life for both owners and pets. Honestly, I never really thought about the usefulness of products like these, but it's honestly a huge time saver. If you cut your dog's fur at home like me, or even just brushing a shedding pet, you'll know what a mess it leaves behind, and you're already exhausted after grooming, so the idea of having to sweep and vacuum is always just a chore. This product should cut down that time significantly, so you have more time to make sure your pet gets all the love and attention they deserve. I left a link for this product in the description box below, so check it out. And check out their other pet grooming products as well. Thank you guys so much for keeping me company until the end. See you guys next time. Bye!